Ow. Hey!
I fucking love fantasy. I fucking love fantasy. It is my favorite genre across the board, and it is not even close. I'm sorry, sci-fi, but Doctor Who has really been shitting my bed recently. When I see big, muscular dudes in thick-ass armor waving big swords around, it's like one of those sober meth eye comparison charts. I get noticeably giddy. I'm like a Cold War sleeper agent anytime anything even remotely fantasy is mentioned.
It's about two gay dudes on a mountain. Unbelievable.
We live in possibly the best time to be a fan of fantasy video games. Games like Dark and Darker, God of War, Lies of P have all come out in the last few years and all fucking slap. Not to mention the two greatest video games that have ever been made, Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring. Yes, that is an objective fact. You can look it up in the dictionary, check it. But sometimes it's nice to play something a little simpler. Something that you can pick up after a long day of work and put down when you're finished. Let me introduce you to one of the ancestors of modern fantasy games. The King of Dragons was an arcade beat-em-up made by Capcom in 1991. It's a side-scroller with multiple playable characters, several levels, bosses, and RPG mechanics. It was successful enough that it was ported to the SNES in 1994 and was listed in Japan by Game Machine as one of the most successful table arcade units of the month. I was reading off the script. I knew that'd be a voiceover that's called, I don't know what that's called, it's something. Everything that I have just said applies verbatim to Knights of the Round. Yeah, for some fucking reason, Capcom decided to release two incredibly similar games within months of each other, and in some cases, like in the US, the same fucking month. Yeah, even the fucking Game Machine thing applies to Knights of the Round. They said the exact same thing. But since Knights of the Round's title ends on a cliffhanger,
Knights of the Round what?
we're gonna stick to King of the Dragons for right now. The game takes place in the land of Malice, where a red dragon named Gildas is about to awaken and destroy the world or something. I don't fucking know. I didn't write the game. You play as one of 5 adventurers fighting through hordes of evil monsters to find and slay Gildas. In-game, they're only referred to by their class or race. We're not going to get into all of that, but the wiki has their names and some backstories. We have Ravel the Elf, a forest hunter with superb aiming skills, an expert in the handling of a bow. He joined the party against the monsters as a member of a clan who seeks peace. Makes sense, pretty solid. Legger the Wizard, a fighting magician, but like the cool kind, we swear, on a journey researching ancient magic. He has joined the party to further his investigation. Not bad, 2 for 2, solid character backstories. Derek? Derek the Fighter, a powerful sword fighter on a journey to find the dragon's treasure. Before joining this group, he has already killed a young dragon with a party of 6. Okay, pump the brakes here, dude. There is no way your level 1 headass has already killed a dragon. I don't know what kind of main character bullshit other DMs do with you, but I'm a DM of integrity and that shit doesn't fly in my campaigns. You've killed a goblin, maybe 2 if I'm feeling like it. I'm sorry you all had to see that. Aldo the Cleric, a pious and adventurous man. Aldo is on a study journey, but he dreams of one day building a cathedral. As a servant of God, he's not allowed to wield blades, so he prefers hammers as his weapons instead. Fuck yes. Absolutely based loophole. And Vargas the Dwarf. After the dragon attacked his village, Vargas started a wandering trip to offer his help to those fighting monsters. See, that is how you work dragons into your backstory, Derek. Asshole. We chose Fighter and Wizard because, what? It just made sense. Also, I fucking love these character sprites. It's all very classic fantasy. The cleric covered head to toe in plate armor because he is the highest defense, or the dwarf having these cool-ass fins on his helmet, or the fighter having that old, how did you describe it again?
It's cunty.
Yeah, that was it. That kind of flamboyant sleigh aspect of 80s, 90s fantasy that's just like... You fucking go, animated Aragorn. What's interesting is just how many RPG mechanics are here in an SNES game. Every character has a different attack speed, range, movement, jump height, defense. The fighter does big bonk, is fast, and can take a spanking. But his magic and defense are, bad. But the wizard over here can kill like 4 fucking dudes in one magic attack, but is about as tough as the average soccer player. Every character has a specific strength or weakness that corresponds with their fantasy trope, like the dwarf hitting hard as fuck or the elf sucking ass like they always do. Hey, rewrite Alex here. Elf actually slaps, I'm just a hater because I'm short. In-game, each character has an XP level, an attack power level, and a defense level, except for the elf who has an arrow speed level. Killing monsters and getting gold gives you XP, which increases your health bar every few levels. Usually at the end of a level, you get an upgrade to your weapon or an upgrade to your defense, which shows visually on your character and is a small but really immersive feature. When I first saw my sword change into that big-ass greatsword, I knew I had to get to the final one, and I wasn't disappointed. Sometimes size matters. It all provides for a really strong sense of progression and a lot of replay value, especially when you play co-op and you can steal all the gold from your teammate. She didn't like that. She didn't appreciate that. She got mad at me. I don't know if arcade cabinets still exist. God forbid they do, but allegedly you can do 3-player co-op on them. As for gameplay, it's pretty simple but also very well done. Y is your attack, B is jump, and X is your magic attack, which does damage to every enemy on screen at the cost of your health. If your character has a shield, you can block by pressing back right before they hit, or you can just press A if you turn it on in the settings. You have 5 lives per credit and only get 2 credits, meaning you have 20 lives total to find and slay Gildas. Which sounds like a lot, but this game is fucking hard, man. So instead we use the 99 credits glitch. Yes, we suck ass, but our excuse here is shut the hell up, nobody asked you, you nosy ass bitch. We start with a classic level 1, the Orc Village. One thing I really like about old arcade games is they never take the time to explain anything to you. Which allows me to make baseless statements like we're here interrogating these orcs in order to find the location of Gildas. Ultimately, these guys were fairly uncooperative on that front, so we killed their king and went straight to their treasure hall, where we murdered everyone else and moved on to this mountain. Unfortunately, the only thing on this mountain was the worst boss in the game, the Wyvern. This boss does so much swooping and flying that you can only get a hit or 2 in at a time, and he'll usually just hit you from off-screen like the inbred trash dragon he is. Somehow, from the top of this mountain, we enter a cave. I'll give you 2 guesses what's in there. Now is probably a good time to mention that our game got super laggy at times, especially during this Hydra fight. I don't know if it's the SNES port in general, or if it was just my cartridge being a gajillion years old and dusty as hell, but fuck, this fight came down to a crawl anytime we came to it. This level is really cool. You go from this beach to the foot of this tower guarded by a previous boss who's now more of a mini-boss. Then you have to fight your way up this tower to slay this Cyclops at the top. This one must have been personal, because we had to sail out of our way to this island to slay this guy, then sail back to the mainland. So yeah, fuck this Cyclops in particular. Anyways, we go through that one chapter in The Hobbit and kill all these gross-ass spiders, and the Great Deku Tree's stoner brother thanks us in the most hilarious way possible. And we're off to the castle. And then in the castle. Really hit the nail on the head with those level names. Wait, me go with you? Who the fuck are you? Where have you been this entire time? Guarding the fucking corpses we've been leaving behind? And of course, throughout this entire spooky-ass dungeon and the next castle, this guy is fucking nowhere to be seen. Holy shit, is that fucking Goldar? From the Power Rangers? Dude, give us the princess back. Not cool. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus, fuck. So we head to Castle Grayskull and kill this dark wizard for, I don't know, bad hygiene. Like, come on, dude, let's go get your nails and eyebrows done at the very least. You're doing the wrong kind of slay. Also, this is the funniest sentence of all time. So, Gildas wasn't there, so I guess we go back to where we started? Oh, for fuck's sake! So we finally find Gildas in this giant, inconspicuous, jagged tower that's right next to where we started the fucking game. Whatever, fuck it. I've got my big sword, Reyna's got her insane wizard staff. It's time for us to fucking slay a dragon, mate! Yeah, no, Can we cut that? Cut that. I didn't like that. This dude is so massive that he can barely turn around, and honestly, it was a pretty tough fight. But ultimately, he was no match for the power of bonk and zap. God, I love fantasy. The game ends on this really satisfying end card that actually shows the characters you played as without their helmets on, which I really loved. Derek's over here absolutely caked the fuck up, cheeks clenched, and Legger over here can't seem to take his eyes off it. So our heroes claim the dragon's treasure and think about future adventures. What more could you want out of an ending? I fucking loved this game. Is it perfect? No. Some characters are blatantly better than others. The SNES quality is a clear downgrade from the cabinet version. Some of the bosses are reused a few too many times, and the timer doesn't make any fucking sense ever. But this game gets almost everything right. The sprites look so fucking good, and the art style is one that I appreciate so much. I didn't touch on it before, but this game's music is also fantastic. It really just sounds like a fantasy track just made 8-bit. Not every level gets its own song, but there's enough variation in the tracks that you don't really notice when one gets replayed for a different level. There's also a huge variety in level design, as you've seen throughout. This game really scratches that itch of just wanting to pick up a controller and hack away at goblins for an hour. As much as I love Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate, those games require a time commitment from you that games like this just don't, and sometimes it's nice to play a video game with no strings attached. Anything you want to add?
I liked it.
Well, that about wraps it up.
Except for that fucking wyvern.
I know, that fucker was so annoying. What do you think about the political climate? Wow, in 2024, Jupiter? How about you, Sammy? Do you have anything you want to say? Yes, and you, Freddy? Ooh, very well spoken.
Let me introduce you to one of the ancestors of modern family. Fuck. Modern family. Family, fuck! Something that you can put down. Oh. Scram. You too. Come on. Legger the Wizard. Legger the Wizard in this group. What is... Go lay down something. Thank you, buddy. I love you.